So while the majority of the people have been unconditionally supportive of our plight, of our escape from a country that's undergoing a very, very difficult situation right now, and to which I'm very, very grateful to, there are some people that are skeptical and they're asking, well, how come you left? How come instead of you being here in Poland or another country, why are you not taking up arms and remaining in Ukraine? Why are you not defending your country? And this is what I want to talk about today. I want to give you my perspective on the situation. I want to give you kind of an insider's view as to what exactly is going on and how exactly we made the choices that we did. So the first thing, and this is more of a how instead of a why, how we left instead of a why we left, is the fact that Marina is a Ukrainian citizen. I am not. I do not have a Ukrainian passport. I have never had a Ukrainian passport, and I probably will never have a Ukrainian passport. I was born in Ukraine. My whole family is from Ukraine. But when I was born, that country was called Soviet Union. And when we left, that country was still called Soviet Union. And so we renounced our Soviet Union passport and we gained an American citizenship. And as a result, that is the only passport I have. I have never had a Ukrainian passport, and I cannot get one because Ukrainian nationality law forbids dual citizenship. And so that is the only passport I have, but I do have permanent residency in Ukraine. And so I was living in Ukraine just like anybody else. We were living together. We were building a home for ourselves. We bought an apartment. We were buying furniture. We were doing everything. And then this whole mess broke out. And of course, if I had a Ukrainian passport, I wouldn't be able to leave. I would have to stay back and remain in the country. But because I was never a Ukrainian citizen, and I probably will never be one, there was no real problem with me leaving. The next reason is that I do not have any military training. I have never been in the army. I have never owned a gun. I have held a real gun only once in my life, and that was at a shooting range. And as a result, I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know how to act in the situation. And from what I read, from what I understand, people like me are going to be more of a liability than an asset to the game. And yes, I understand there are people taking up arms that do not have any military training, do not know what to do, do not know what's going on. I get that. But, I'm definitely like one of the last people that would be able to take a gun and actually, be in a war, be in an army. And so in that respect, if I had training, if I had, military training in the US, if I was a military man, that is something I would definitely consider, because right away I would know what to do, I would know what's going on. But the fact is, this is all foreign to me. And the fact that, I wouldn't even know where to start makes me realize that, I would definitely be more of a liability than an asset. It's like, it's like playing on a team. You want the team, a team in the sport, to be composed of people that know exactly what to do. And you probably do not want people that are going to drag the whole thing down. You don't want to have a weakest link and all of that. And that is the way I look at it, is that people like me are just not going to be an asset. Another thing you guys got to understand is that there are a couple of things happening here, and there are really two wars going on here. The first is the military thing, and that is guns, weapons, artillery, tanks, all that stuff that you typically associate with war. But there's also another war going on that I feel is a much more important war. And that is the informational war. And that is the war for the hearts and minds of people, not just in Ukraine, not just in Russia, not just in Europe, but all over the world. We are living in an informational age where you have information coming from all sides. You have fake news, you have propaganda, you have lies, you have deceit. And whoever can capture the people, whoever can capture more of the people to believe their way of the events, their side of the story, wins the informational war. And this is where I believe I can add a lot more value. I can be of a much greater asset as compared to the whole military thing that a lot of people think about when they think about war. Because this is why I have this channel. This is why, we are here in Poland. This is why I'm making the videos. This is why I'm explaining to people what exactly is happening from my unique perspective as somebody who was born in the country, and also Marina's perspective as somebody who has family in the eastern city of Kharkiv that's being heavily bombed, that's has been heavily damaged. We want to show you our side of the story. I also want to show you what's happening here on the ground, how EU countries have come together, how Poland has been absolutely amazing in helping people like us here, how everybody is coming together. And so, yes, there's the military objective. There's the fact that yes, I can take a gun, I can take an AK-47 into my arms and use that to reach a certain objective. But in my mind, I can do a lot more influence, I can add a lot more value. I can become a much greater asset by telling thousands, tens of thousands of people, even millions of people what's actually happening, what happened in Ukraine, why we left, how we woke up to a whole new reality, how there was sirens and people just running around, and how it's obvious who attacked who was the aggressor and who is the victim here. It's completely obvious. And I believe, judging by a lot of comments that people are leaving, they're hearing first-person accounts. They're hearing it from the source, and a lot of people have been saying that, thank you so much for doing this, because they don't know who to believe, they don't know which news is right, they don't know who is telling the truth, who is providing the fake news. And I'm here just telling you what we're seeing. We're just telling you how it is. And so from that perspective, this is a much bigger war. This is a much bigger deal than just the conventional stuff, taking a gun and doing it, and going out and becoming part of the military and all that. And last but definitely not least, the most important thing is the family. And I definitely wouldn't be able to live with myself if we either remained in Ukraine, in bomb shelters and all that, or I would let Marina live by herself, because it's not only about Marina, but there's something else, is that we are expecting soon, and sometime in the summer. And so we have another life, a future life to worry about, and we want everything the best for this future life. We want peace and prosperity for this this person that's gonna be born soon, and as a result, it was something that factored into our thinking. And I realize that this might not convince some of you. I think many of you will still stick to your initial judgment, and I understand that. But ultimately, I do not believe that we should judge other people for their actions that they did in a time of crisis, especially if we are not in their shoes and we do not know what they were going through. Ultimately, every person needs to make the decisions that they feel is right for them. And we believe that is exactly what we did.